All right, part two of the Duke Gonzaga basketball game. We'll try to keep these to 30 minutes. The last one went a little bit over, but there was a lot of things to discuss in part one. So if you want to go back and watch part one, and again, I guess with YouTube channels, you want to request if you could subscribe to it or like it or share it. It's appreciated. Like button's right there for you to like. That helps out our program and me. Yeah, but if you could like that or share this or subscribe, that's appreciated. So I figured out some of the shortcut keys, so it's going to be a little bit easier to share some of this and to get it going. So Duke is coming down. There's been a number of things that have happened here with Banchero and with Keels and some of these other folks. So right here, I didn't see the actual call that we had here with the coach coming up. Coach K is calling something right here. And he is echoing that call right there. It looks like an open hand or a 5. So a change. I was expecting maybe a UCLA cut with Keels with Williams, but it looks like what I like about what they're doing, which we need to get our group doing quite a bit more, is just the catch. And we use this phrase. We use the phrase rim post action. Catch the ball facing, which he's doing. He's catching the ball facing. He immediately got into a shot fake. So, it's rim. It's meaning you catch the ball, you look at the rim, you look to see for yourself, you survey the landscape, the post, what is going on with the post, and then weak side action. So we tell our kids rim post action all the time, every catch. Our kids should be able to recite that rim post action, rim post action. So it's always, the rim to look for yourself. That doesn't mean you are looking for a shot, but you're also surveying the floor to quickly see drive and things of that nature. But we make an emphasis even with our young kids about post play, post action, post position, and things like that. We believe in getting the ball inside kind of as much as possible. So we have a rim post action here. So you can actually have figured some of these shortcut keys out, but you can tell right here. And I apologize maybe for the last video where the video was really sporadic on it, a lot of still frames, and it didn't seem to run as I tried a different setting this time. So we'll see if that works. But you can see right here's the catch, right? I can kind of go back frame by frame. So here's the catch. And I don't remember. Oh, that's Wendell Moore. So Wendell Moore catches the ball, or that might be Keels. So he catches it, and then he's immediately right there, facing, shot faking, waiting for Williams to get it. Now, turnover, right? So he actually rose up. He rose up too much, right? And wasn't ready to shoot. And Nebhart, I believe that's Nebhart, it might be somebody else, is in a position to contest, and it's just a turnover, right? So, bad play, one pass turnovers are rough, right? One pass turnover, that's a rough thing to be doing. So you can see here, that's the play before, right? One dribble. Yeah, and this is from part one. So in part one, you saw, if you remember, if you got far enough into it, right? This was the last play we talked about. It was a 46-minute video. But right here, you can see that he drove it. It was a one dribble. Nobody's covering the weak side, right? So Timmy lost vision with Williams. He steps out to help. He's definitely outside the paint. Holmgren should be able to contain that. Although here's the thing, right? Number 1, number 2, number 3 player in the draft. Right. And let me go back real quick, 5-second, get back with the shortcut keys here. But right here, he sets it up with a shot fake. Here's the difference, right? Point guard, post player, right? But you have a 7'2" guy out here that bit just enough, right? Bit just enough on that shot fake right here, right? Gets his hands up. Keels does a great job of just a quick fake, puts it down 1 pound. Already calling for it, hand up, throws it up. Nobody's covering back, right? So we call it a V back. Somebody's got a V back, and they're not really matched up, right? This isn't the matchup that they want. I'm guessing that Timmy is guarding Williams. I'm not quite sure who he's guarding unless they're in a zone, which I don't remember if they are or not, but there was that play, right? So we got a turnover on the first play here. And now we're back with Gonzaga with the ball. Keels is so this is what Gonzaga did a lot of in the first round. It's early in the morning, and so I'm drinking my coffee here, so it's kind of coffee and ball, right? So what Gonzaga did in the first clips that we saw in part one of this game was a lot of dribble handoffs. So again, setting it up here, but you can already tell what's going on. Either he was getting out of the way and they're bringing somebody out of the corner and they're dribble handoffing here, but you can see Drew Timme is sprinting to run a dribble handoff ball screen. Hopefully he gets out and clears the lane for any sort of roll by Timme. Holmgren is wide, taking Banchero out, right? So again, I don't know. I have not, I watched this game when it was played. This game was played a while ago. I don't quite remember everything that happened here. So there's the dribble handoff, but he's not dribble handoffing and pop. So is it a dribble handoff flare? Is it a dribble handoff just get out? Is it a dribble handoff get out to a ball screen? So there's a lot that could possibly happen here. There's a dribble handoff and he's stunting to it. You know, I feel like he stopped a little bit, right? So we'll end up cycling. So it's Keels is in a bad spot because he's staying on him, right? So he is staying on him and taking this through cut all the way through, and Keels is the one guarding the ball here, right? So Nebhart's cutting through, and we'll see how this plays out, right? So, wow. So they get Williams at 7 foot or 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot. They have Keels, man. So that shot is clearly contested. Again, I don't know what happens here, but we're locked in here. He's on the Nebhart, Roach is, and the ball. So one dribble handoff, contested 3 by 2 great defenders and one with great reach and length. And then we have a 3 that's just way outside. Now these are pros, right? So I don't know, these are pros. Somebody, Steph Curry takes that, who's obviously, one of the best ever. So comparing this guy to him is not fair, but there's that shot. He might make it. So, all right. So quick handoff. It wasn't a dribble handoff with a pop. It was a dribble handoff with a through cut to a ball screen, and then just an immediate handoff, right? So let's cue that up again. So here's the handoff, Keels was not ready to guard him. And so that's why he thinks he's ready. I love the idea of taking bigs away and out, especially because Keels was not in a position to play, right? So the play I would be looking for, instead of taking a contested, well beyond NBA 3, is to get more up into here and drag Williams out, because he would have to help out, right? And then you have that. So there's that shot, he makes that. Now here's what Duke's great at, man, like it's a no-brainer for Williams. That foot is planted. He contested. He's already got 6 points on running to the rim. And by being active on the weak side and being available on the weak side, running, and who we don't see, let me rewind this, is Banchero. So he's inside. Oh, Banchero gets a rebound, my bad. So 1, 2, 3, contested, and then there's the foot plant. Like, hey, I'm going. Keels is already gone. I really like how quick Duke is in the open floor at the start of this game, right? If you watch the first part of this, you'll see that. So here's the only criticism I guess I would have is this. If we were watching this, look at the length that we have between Williams and Chet Holmgren here, right? So we've got, I don't know how far that is, 10 feet, I don't know, 8 feet of a difference. Banchero's got the ball. It's clearly got to be stopped. We hopefully have Keels. Look at, he's immediately getting wide, but now in 2 strides. Now, granted, he was running and he was changing directions to run. So there is that, right? But boy, does Holmgren, like, he's in a bad spot, this guy here, because he's going to have to guard 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Timmy's trailing, right? But we allow Holmgren to get back into the play, and he's a 7-footer. So, like, the evaluation, boy, he's running. And I wonder, Williams has to get out in front, because right there he's caught. Now, I again, no idea what happens here. Banchero could take it to the rim. This is what I like, though. So if our kids end up watching this, or families end up watching this together, we talk about this stuff. The idea is this: he's playing to an elbow. He's not playing to the middle of the floor where this guy can guard 2 or 3 people, right? 1, 2, 3. He's playing to the elbow to open up the lane to the finisher and the short shuffle pass to a shooter. Keels might be going in. But what Banchero's doing right here by not playing to the middle is he's creating space for Williams in order for him to finish. The pass could be right here to him finishing. It could be Keels for a 3. It could be a Euro step finish. Like, I don't know what's going on here. We'll rewind it and play it. Okay, so there's the Euro step. But man, look at Holmgren run. So Holmgren had, was behind by 8 to 10 feet and got level with them before they got to the hole, taking away that pass, right? And the other guys never got back into the action, right? You could have a dump down to Keels here. You could have a Euro step through, which it looks like he might be doing, right? So we have that, right? And foul, no shot. Let's roll that back. So here's that. There's the shot. 1, 2, 3 to half court. Euro step through, dump off. So listen, Williams has received 3 or 4 passes. Get some of my morning coffee here. Williams has got 3 or 4 passes just by running and by being active on the weak side of the floor. And so here's the 3rd or 4th, right? So no foul, or there is a foul, no shot on the ground. And let's see what they end up doing here. So there's the play, right? So now we have it out of bounds. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so they go 4 low. We saw them go 4 high in part 1. In part 1, they went 4 high and just rolled Keels through, and Williams screened for, they rolled Roach through. Williams screened for Keels on a 4 high, and Keels ended up getting a 3 because they just didn't play it hard. So now we have the 3 smalls, one taking it out of bounds, the other 2 smalls wide, and we have big on big here. Holmgren is not guarding anybody on the inbounds here. So the matchup changed. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's for out of bounds purposes, that Holmgren's always on the ball out of bounds. I'm not sure if they took him off Banchero because he was getting beat up. I'm not sure if it was because he wasn't guarding Williams, right? I don't know the coaching change there. I'd like to think, though, I don't think he's done a bad job on all these guys, that maybe it's just a set action, like, hey, whenever the ball's out of bounds, Holmgren's on it, possibly, right? So let's see. It's big on big screen here. The easy thing to do here is switch. Let's see what they do, which is exactly what they do. They switch it. And Duke's play here is first look over the top, right? And Timmy might know that. They switched it out. Like we talked in the first round about, one of Majerus's phrases on switching is talk it, touch it, switch it, deny it. They definitely talked it. They looks like they touched it. They switched it. Now they're both kind of in this denial. So this is kind of that great idea now. So they got it over the top, and that play was designed to go to Williams. So it's not there. It's not there. They were getting it there. They didn't get it, and Banchero kind of saves it. So now we're just going to run a play. So they get set, live elbow. Ball at a live elbow with Banchero is probably difficult to guard. They're still getting into that set. Didn't get him the ball, right? So now we are in a high 1-4 ball screen. Look, I like this. Everybody's stunted over for the most part. No vision, but I'm convinced that doesn't always happen, right? But would we like him to be seeing the ball? Probably so. But look, locked in, and talking, right? On the weak side, like, hey, go ahead and throw it over to Keels over the top. That's cool. Whatever you want to do there. But what they need to be concerned about, or what I would be coaching our kids on, is first player in the draft, first team All-American, right? If not player, he's not going to be player of the year. Maybe he is, right? So ball screen here to a roll with Wendell Moore playing to the elbow or nail, right? How are we playing this roll? How are we playing this drive? So side pick and roll on a 45 is always worked on. So there it is. So you could already see, like, we're going to show it a little bit on the baseline. So it's a quick 1 pound change. Now, I don't know if that's by design, right? So they didn't get the live elbow. They got the play here. We're going to run it to a ball screen, 1 pound pass, right? Maybe by design. Maybe he just doesn't feel he has it, because look, 1, 2, 3, 4 people are all sitting right there. So the opportunity to get here, but maybe to engage this guy, right? Come off this play to the nail, draw him out, pick and pop, whatever this might be. Like, your ability to play to the nail and be able to get here on a pop where these 2 guys have to really sprint and cover makes you a lot more valuable. And it was kind of so there's the change, but there's no, okay, so it looks like he's about to shoot. Now, I'm thinking that's game plan. Like, hey, we will win this game. And I believe that Gonzaga was number 1 in the nation. So Gonzaga 6-0, number 1 in the nation. And this guy here, I'm guessing if he's going to be shooting a ton of threes, that they are liking those options. So that is why you let him shoot it. So the game plan is, if Williams is shooting a bunch of threes, So for our group that might be watching this, if you're watching this, understand at some point, if you can't shoot it, they will let you shoot it. The game plan will be, hey, let's let Williams shoot it, right? Now, the better we are, like, they're not going to let him catch it because he's a dead three. He's a great three. He's a great three. He's a great three. The one guy they want to have the ball on the perimeter is this. And you can just automatically tell that that is not his game. Like, that doesn't look good, right? So Gonzaga wins that possession. So it's like it's a game of possessions right here. So here's what I would say about Duke. I would say this on this possession. This is a busted up out of bounds play. They were actually, I mean, nothing good happened here. So you're either trying to score or not. So they busted it up. Then they get to the side pick and roll. They try to get the ball maybe to a live elbow. They don't. So we're here. Ball goes here. Kind of a half-hearted ball screen. 1 pound flip to a guy that we want to shoot, who all of a sudden wants to be Steph Curry, right? So Gonzaga wins that possession. That Duke did nothing great on that possession in terms of out of bounds, ball screen, the wrong shooter. I don't mind William. I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind bigs at the top of the screen, at the top of the key in the slot, top of key. But obviously, if you can shoot it, you can shoot it. But if you can't, then it's an automatic reversal, right? If you watch the NBA, it's automatic reversal. So here's what they do. They get the rebound here. 3 gets it and is off, right? I'm sorry. I thought somebody else got it, but they're off, right? So clinic fast break, right? So and this isn't always the case, but this is just what some coaches would say. Man, bad shot, wrong person. Bad shots are always layups on the other end. So it's a bad shot. It's a bad shot it's a good shot by the wrong person, if that makes sense, right? If that shot's Banchero or Moore or any of these other guys, that's a great shot, right? Because he's wide open. He's essentially 4 to 5 men removed, but it's a bad shot, right? So then I'm saying here, like if we're going to be this tight with it, here's the difference, right? If we're going to be that tight, this is what I would say. Notice the difference between the possession before, when Holmgren was running the floor and closed an 8-foot gap on Williams. And notice the difference between how Banchero's running. Now, again, not picking on him. He's a pro. He's going to make millions of dollars. He's going to be the #1 pick in the draft. I would just say stuff like this: half-hearted screen. You got to know your personnel. You got to know that my man can't shoot it. He's not competing on the block out here. He's just going to let Chet Holmgren get the rebound instead of getting level. So there's no competition there. And then I'm just going to be walking back. Now, it's just, you can't, there's always criticism and coaching in every possession, right? But let's see what they do here. What I really like is there's the rebound, boom. Everybody's changing here. Getting back. So he's running wide. I mean, this is a breakdown. We should be able to play right here, 4-on-4. So the bottom line is this: Keels doesn't get back. Oh, right there. He was like, so Keels didn't get a block out, I believe, or a V back on one possession here. He didn't V back to the post player, and that was in part 1. Here, you have to understand the elites. It's one of these things, I remember somebody saying about Peyton Manning, like you just, if you make a mistake, he's going to get you. Like, he's waiting on that mistake. It's a game of mistakes, right? We tell our group, the defense is always wrong. It's a game of creating and taking advantage of mistakes. So where's the mistake here? The mistake is Keels not running back hard with vision. Right there. He was just slow right there from half court. Walking. Oh, right there. He's like, I'm level. He got level with me. The ball's not stopped. He wasn't able to stop it. He's walking back. He's running to the rim. We're playing to where? We're playing to an elbow. We're not playing to the middle, like all that. Like, he's open. He's open. And that's what our group has to do a better job of. So what a great fast break, but you've got to see how one bad shot Good shot by the wrong person, I would say. It's a good shot, good spot, 5-man removed by the wrong person. But how this was a total breakdown with everything Duke was trying to do. And then Keels right here realizes I didn't compete. Okay, but this is what I like about some of these teams. Duke, Michigan State, they score that, man, and Wendell Moore gets that ball out of the rim and gets that outlet. Like, there's no letdown. There's no finger pointing. There's no blaming. There's no feeling sorry for ourselves. Yeah, you got scored on. You know what? They're probably going to score 70 to 80 points on you, right? You're not, but so what can we do here? Right? I like the outlet. I like that it's wide. This is what our point guards have to do. We need somebody to get the ball out of bounds, and we need to get the ball to our point guards that fast. Right? He scores this with just a look at the clock. 16, that ball's in his hands in 2 seconds. He scores it at 16. I'm talking about the seconds here. 16-16. He scores it at 16-14. That ball's already going. And at 16-12, 4 seconds later, that ball's at half court. So I love that, right? Again, we've said this for years. I like it in terms of transition like this, that the ball gets changed if possible. It'd be nice if, here's the thing. Williams blocks it, tries to block it. I think he's got to get like to the middle, right? He's running in a lane and in a channel that the point guard needs to be at. There's that right there. Can our guards get there? Can our guards, like, keep in mind, 6 seconds ago, that ball was being driven and was put on a fast break layup. And 6 seconds later, that thing, he's got it to the hole with 4 around him. 4 around him. 1 outlet, 1 crossover to the paint. Now, they've got to recover to Williams, who should be going, but here's what I love. He looks ready, right? He should be over here and getting in vision. Wendell Moore should be getting in vision, and Williams should be going to the rim, right? Look at how quick it is. The goal is to get it there, right? We tell our guys, how can we get to our spots? And what are our spots? Where are our spots, right? So I don't know how big he is. 6'2", 6'3", 5'10". Like, I don't know, right? But I do know he got to the paint, he got to the nail, he got to the hole, and he's rising up over Drew Timme, who's 6'10", right? And Timmy's contesting. So how fast do we want to play? So it's one of these things, like, he's got to make that shot, right? Pros make that shot. He's got to make that shot. And the kid's really good. So there's our rebound. Now we're running the other direction. Let's see how fast we are here. Slower on. Here's what's great. I like this a lot because this is coaching. What I like about this is everybody on Gonzaga's team knows the 7-footer, and he's 7'2", I don't know. The 7-footer can handle the ball and let him bring it. So look, everybody's running. Let him bring it. Now it's interesting. Keels picks up the ball. Banchero looks like he might be funneling in to take him, but Keels is stopping it. Clearly not as comfortable as Nebhart and some of these other folks, right? Dribble to the sideline. He's picked up by somebody that knows how to hawk the ball, right, and get after it. And then look, so here's the difference, right? And I'm not against, Holmgren's going to be the top 3 player in the draft, right? But what I do like about this, the improvement is he got it. Everybody let him bring it. We had a rim runner here. We had some people getting wide. He was lower from the get-go, right? If we went back 5 seconds, there he is. Like, he's running. But Holmgren dribbles to the sideline, right over half court. He's being hounded by a point guard that knows how to guard the ball and stick the ball, right? So he's sticking it. But Holmgren goes right there. He spins to try to create space, but then he's just screwed. He's like, all right, I'm just going to pick this up and get rid of it. So here's our emphasis with our group over the past couple of weeks. You can't pick that ball up till you know you're ready to pass or shoot. And right now, Holmgren has no idea where he's passing the ball. So he's not ready to pass. He's just frustrated that he's got it. And he's frustrated that he's being pressured. right? And so what I like about this is he's going to get to this lane. He's going to get to this lane. This guy actually looks like he has his mouth open and he's screaming from the check-in table, right? Coach K's up, you know, seeing how this, but this is what Duke wants, right? And everybody's got to be competing here. Wendell Moore's got to get into this. Like they're in a bad spot. He lost his, he lost his pressure when he pivoted away from it, right? But okay, so he got to the lane. Now they're back cutting, throwing it over the top. They may, again, I haven't watched this. They could throw it over the top, get it right here. He could help down. He'd have to be back, blah, 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 all this. Or they could just get it. Like, there it is. Okay, so now we're playing ball. So look, I love this. The like advantage Duke here. They got Keels on Holmgren. He picked the ball up. He didn't want or know how to handle the pressure. They denied it. They were in a position to deny. They back cut it, threw it over the top. Now Roach is on the weak side of the floor saying, hey, my man Williams better go stop ball. We better be flooding the paint because he's not in a position to help. So where's the help come from? Williams at 7'2's got to come down. Banchero at 6'10's got to come down. But somebody better guard Timmy. Right. So ideal if he drove it, and I, again, don't know what happens. If he drove it and wanted to get this shot, we've got to be going here. We've got to be flooding to the elbow, and somebody's got to get to Timmy's body and lower body and legs with his lower body to control him. Right. So the kick would then be, can you get it on the weak side of the floor? And again, no idea what happens here, but the shot. All right. Great job. Now Banchero's got to be moving and be more. I think this is just he's a long serviced pro coming up, right? So for me to sit here, but man, I wish he was just moving a little bit more, right? But there's the kick out, and what'd they call? Well, they tried to. Everybody's tripping about a travel, right? So we're here. All right. He wasn't under control because I think he could have caught that and shot it, right? Everybody wanted to travel, so there's the kick. So with our group, if kids end up watching this with our group, this is level. When we talk about the post being level, that's level. So defensively, once he's off of his point and his spot, you can play level or behind to get him out. We wouldn't want to necessarily be in a 3-quarter here because then maybe they can just throw it over the top and if Williams isn't in a position to help, right? But right here, like that's too bad that Duke did a great job. They got Holmgren here. They jammed him. They back cut it. The guy wasn't in a position, and they recovered well, right? And Roach did a good job of being back to Timmy on the post here. So now here's what I wish we were better at, or probably me, that mid post catch by a post player, right here. That this is okay. It is. We work with our kids a lot on, double buried and getting inside this semicircle, or we call it the hole, getting in the hole with our post play, right? But there is a time, there are players that could catch mid post and then turn and face up. I like how Wendell Moore here is playing it down stance, kind of nose on ball. I like it that I'm not sure how they're matched up, right? Definitely matched up here. We got two here, so let me go back a little bit. So here's Roach. That's really smart. So the ball goes there, and this was his man that did the through cut. Williams is matched up here. Roach did not go with him. Roach knows the All-American has the ball in the mid post. Either scouting report about what to do when the ball's in the mid post with Timmy, knowing that he's an All-American and he's not, and we want the ball out of his hand. So watch, when Timmy gets that ball, this is Roach's man right there, and he's playing block. His man just cut through. So our guys and youth need to see that, like, hey, this is king right here. And maybe I come on the dribble. Maybe the scouting report says, hey, when Drew Timmy catches it in the post, we're going to be collapsing down and he needs to see 3 people, 1, 2, 3. Maybe Banchero needs to be more here to the elbow, but maybe he's also playing Nebhart here, who's probably a pro, right? So he's got to guard too. Otherwise, my man Roach has got to be able getting out. Again, I don't know what happens here. Look at, you can't get so locked in. Watch Holmgren. You can't get so now big on small. This is the point guard. Because of him sticking the ball, they just stayed with it. But watch what Holmgren's going to do. He swim move, right? For all young athletes, he hit him with his left. I can go back frame by frame here. He hits him with his left right here. He swims over with his right. Right there. And look, Keels is trying to stand him up. But here's the gap. And I'm 7'2", and I'm the #1 player in the draft. Right now, Wendell Moore gets the ball deflected here. But look at how he's cutting with contact and saying, you know, I'm getting to where I want to be. Right now, couple dribbles. Look, it's really smart basketball. One, like he's even got one more. But look how Duke's running. So good on Banchero, right? Ball's here. It's not a zone. It's not a zone. Roach doesn't go with his guy. But watch how we do what we do here. There's the cut. 1, 2. Good. Watch. Banchero's here. We're here. Keels was here. I don't believe it to be a zone. It might be. These guys seem to be staying up top. But watch. It can't be a zone, right? So we're here. Keels did not go with Holmgren. So we're going to be locked in here. He's actually guarding here. But watch. Keels is, the ball's going to end up over here. Keels sprints and Banchero sprints. And we can get a contested 3. So there's the kick. That's not Keels' man. But he sprints to it. Look, he's sprinting to it. Roach is on the weak side of the floor. And he knows that he let that cutter go through. So watch. 2 guys are sprinting. And maybe Keels is sprinting because right here, watch. Just keep your eyes on 0. He's here. That's Keels. That's Roach's man. Kick. And he's like, oh boy, that's my man. But at least I have a teammate that says ball scores. It's not my man. I was guarding here. But ball scores. And that wasn't Keels' man. That was Williams' man. Right? So Williams didn't get out. Like they didn't get out. Right? But there's the 3 on the reversal. And we get it. Right? Now we're running. Okay, there's a foul. Love it. Love it. Okay, so I believe this to be out of a timeout. Another coffee break here. Listen, on the there's all these specials, right? In basketball. Out of timeouts, free throws, sideline out of bounds, baseline out of bounds, jump ball, possession arrow, like all this sort of stuff, right? You've got, if I were, you know, coaching college or high school ball again, I would sit back and say, I would keep track of our specials. How good are we out of timeouts? What do we do? What plays work? What don't? What defenses do we want to switch up? How are we out of timeouts? All right. So they've been trying to get Banchero the ball right there for a bit. Okay. So right on that catch, there's a number of things that I've liked to do. There's the flare screen for the point guard that can flare over and we can slip. We do that with our group. There's double downs here, which it looks like they might be doing to a stagger to bring Roach to the ball. But here's what you want to do. You got an All-American with the ball essentially in the slot or off of the elbow, right? That's what you have, right? Timmy's off the floor. So they brought in some at the media timeout at 16 minutes. They took Timmy off the floor. And, you know, so I won't know all these kids. It looks like Holmgren's still in. It looks like Nebhart's still in. Duke brought in this guy. I forget his name. Okay, but here's what's great. You have the All-American with the ball in the slot. And you're taking all the action away from him, which I love, right? Because as good as Nebhart is, he's definitely not locked in on the All-American, right? You're taking Holmgren away, you know, so we've got, you know, probably the All-American playing a sub, you know, playing a second unit guy. You're taking Holmgren away. And I, again, don't know what happens here, but it looks like they're running a stagger. Okay, so they're running it to a dribble handoff. Love it. Let's get Banchero the ball at the top of the key. I like the footwork, right? So we're kind of nuts with our group about kind of the footwork, right? Of how we catch it, how we face. Like you always can't catch facing. You definitely at a live elbow. So he's doing a right for the youth watching this. He is doing a right reverse pivot. Boom, there it was. Right foot, reverse pivot, dribble handoff, right? They took all the action away for the dribble handoff. It wasn't a stagger. Roach is still low. Wendell Moore just shaped up here. And I don't know his name. It just went low, right? And then we play dribble handoff, basketball to a post. So they're trying to get the ball mid post, man. But good on this guy. They're not letting it. So, you know, I don't know what's the shot clock at 16. We're not in an emergency spot. Right. But look at Roach. Look at Roach. So they good on this guy to not let Banchero get what he wants. Because I'm not saying that was the action, but here's the live ball. Here's the dribble handoff. Here's a roll. They did not switch it out. And now you're talking about trying to get Banchero to the mid post area, and 22 ain't having it. He's not having it. So the ball gets changed and they sprint to a ball screen here. Right. So what I like about what Roach does is, man, that's a tight, going back frame by frame. Look at how tight that ball screen is. There's right there. For all the youth, all the coaches out there watching this, like, this is how you're supposed to come off ball screen. They sprint to it. You know, if Banchero comes up even higher and he drifts out even further, right, the lane is even more open, right? They're not going to leave Banchero. So he could come up and drag that guy with him and he can roll, right? But look at Holmgren is there, but look at how Roach keeps going with contact. Right. Again, I don't know. Now there's no angle to really do anything here. Right. There's a lot of people right here. Right. And they're all big. Right. To a friend of mine that told me, hey, there's a big difference between being high school and being as good as Roach is and Keels and Nebhart and some of these other folks. And you're killing it in high school. And then all of a sudden you get to high level basketball where you're bringing in 7-footers off the bench. Right. And you're starting 7-2 and you're starting 6'10". Right, wherever Banchero is, and you got 6'10" on the bench that start. Like, it's a totally different deal. And these passing lanes and angles and opportunities aren't there like they were earlier, right? So it's a totally different thing. But look, oh, he seals it. He creates the seal, but look at, he just, like, hey, we talk, hopefully my group's watching this. If you're a parent watching this, get your kids to watch this. This is bully ball. So watch 12. Again, I don't know his name. Okay, right here. Look at that seal. Like, he just bullies. 12 just bullies Holmgren. Look at seal, and gets him out of the way. Now, we'd probably get a foul called on that, right? But when you're playing 1 versus 5 and Duke versus Gonzaga, and you could look at this, that is bully ball. That is, hey, Holmgren, I'm coming for the whole game, and I'm going to get you, right? So that is what I think that is a great clip for everybody to watch, right? So he ends up getting what they want, right? I really liked that by 12. Okay, here's just, they score 1001, 1002. My group. Look at that bully ball. 1, he gets it out of bounds. Nebhart, granted, he was already there, but he is wide. It's out. It's through the bucket. It's out and outletted, wide and on an angle, on what we call the 45-degree angle mark, the wing, right? And that ball's pushed up the floor. Boom. Now Duke knows, man, we got to be getting back, man. Right? And now they're getting reorganized in terms of matchups because they weren't the time before, right? It looks like Banchero's talking and we're getting matched up, right? So I love it. Ball is brought up. It goes, like, we're trying to play to an elbow. We're just going to pass it to the big. So we got big on big here. Big on big, ball screen. Look at that. Look at how these guys do this. All guys watching this. Watch. I'm going to go back here. He beats him off ball screen here. But then look, this is what he does. He gets to the body here and gets level to get in front of and do shield him, right? So as this play goes and goes and goes, right, he's going to get his body on him here, right there. He has his body on him and he's got the leverage. He's the bully here, right? And then he gets the angle to score. Okay, so then this ball comes up. Keep that in mind. So the ball gets changed here. It goes through the big. There's a ball screen here with Banchero and Chet Holmgren, but watch, right there. He's getting and cutting off the lane of recovery, the line of recovery, the lane of recovery, the line of recovery. He can't get it. He can't get into a recovery position because he sealed it. Now, he also dribbled to get 2. Stay away, get away, right? And let this be the play. right? Because we're still not spaced enough, because I believe that he can still recover to it. If the ball goes to here and to Holmgren, right? Number 12 can get there. I believe he can get there. Like he's trying to get there. So much so, maybe it looks like Banchero's like pushing him, like, get your tail out there, right? And Holmgren can shoot it. But what Holmgren can also do is peek, rim post action, peek, drive it, and then drive it and get in here for something. So here's the difference between just high school and this shot is wide open for him in high school. And in college now it's contested. And in the pros, it's really contested, right? So he's got to be able to make this if in fact he's shooting it, but he could be driving. And that's just being a threat for everybody, all our guys that can shoot threes. But I like this. I mean, he's just so thin, but good enough there, good enough on the pop, good enough there, good shot fake. Now, man, I wish he would have put it down with his right? Because you could have created all this opportunity weak side, because Wendell Moore had to have helped. One dribble lateral to a three, right? He got him in the air. He jab steps with his right. He cross steps, gathers his feet, but look at how 12 recovers, right? Shot fake, jab step, left, hop, step plant, right? Left 1-2, right? We worked on this yesterday with some folks, right? Shot fake, jab step with the right, put it down with the left, 1-2, left, right, foot. Like it's all footwork. Catch it, shot fake, jab step, 1 pound. Could he have created more space? Probably so, but keep this in mind. This guy's 7 foot or 7'2", right? And I read a stat yesterday. He's shooting somewhere around 43% from three. So he probably loves that shot. So we didn't get it, and the ball doesn't get stopped. That Wendell Moore, like this can't happen. Like, I'm not saying a timeout happens, but man, if you got like this type of stuff where it's effort, they've got 5 guys there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the ball doesn't get picked up. So whose ball is it? Well, it's our ball, ours. I believe it. I feel like 22 might be the one in the best position to help there. Like, what's 45 doing? 45's worried about, like, here's what I would say. Don't worry about the guy that hasn't crossed half court yet. Let's worry about the ball and the rim and the paint. Like this guy, let's see what he does. Nothing. Nothing here. Nothing here. Running back, like really, really bad transition. So that's just bad. Right? So it's Duke on a fast break. It's 1-on-3. It's them getting an outlet or getting a rebound. It's pushing. It's going diagonal. And it's finishing. And it's 45, not carry. Like, it's like, oh, geez. The ball scores. The guy at half court, we're not going to worry about. He's worried about Keels. Right? So you keep in mind the 2 best teams in the nation, 2 best coaches in the nation, right? So now we're bringing the ball up the floor off of that. Now, look, they get the ball to half court pretty fast. And when they get the ball here, it immediately goes to the trailing big. So we have trailing bigs, and he dribbles a little bit, but at some point he just gets it reversed. So, man, listen, these teams like to play fast, right? Wendell Moore, if you can see here on the bottom of the screen, is averaging. He just scored it on that fast break layup, got to it. And I believe he's a junior. His name is Wendell Moore Jr. He's a sophomore, I believe, but he's at 17.5 point. Like, look at that stat line, right? That ball's going up, I have to believe, right? These teams want to play fast. Nope. So same idea, right? And then he explores it. Like, I love this. Same play as Holmgren. Playing closeout basketball. Keels is not in balance. He catches it. He shot fakes. He's jab stepping with his right. He's putting it down with his left, 1-2, and then hesitates and goes. And gets to the mouth of the rim. Wow. Where's the breakdown? Okay, here's what's interesting. What's interesting about this play is number 12 can't get off to help, right? He's not in a 3/4 position where he can 2-step it. He's being sealed out here, so he's not able to help there. Keels wasn't able to defend the ball, right? Keels was not able to defend it because he sprinted at it. So right here, he's covering down because we weren't in a position. Listen, it's all about taking advantage of mistakes. So Adams is here. I don't believe this to be Adams' guy. I believe Adams to be here and here. So if anything, like I'd be curious, not to be picking on Banchero, but I'm curious on Banchero's role in this. We went for a steal. So now Holmgren's not being guarded. So, and I'm guessing that's Banchero's guy. So Banchero's up here tripping around. Now, if he gets a steal and a dunk, he's on Sports Center, but he didn't, right? So the ball gets changed to it. Now we're playing 3-on-2. We're playing 3-on-2 here because we were around here, right? And that's fine. It happens. But all of this, look at, he's running back to cover somebody. So I have to believe Holmgren's his man. The 12 had to stop the ball. Because of that, Keels had to protect low. Like it's just basketball. And now we're closing out. It's a bad closeout. It's a bad closeout. Right? So we peek at it. We put it to our left. We hesitate. But now we're not in a position to help because of what happened up here with Banchero. We're just not. So now the help comes up from the other side of the floor with Roach, who can look. He's got to cover the ball because nobody else can. It's an emergency. So Banchero or somebody's got to cover low, and it's probably Keels, and he's not there. So it's a total breakdown because of what? Why is it a breakdown? And we're not afforded the narrative there because of the camera. So Banchero could be great, right? Like he didn't get it. But because we didn't get it, everything's on a recovery. We're in scramble. Boom, scrambled. Not good closeout. Not able to get off the post. Have to help from the weak side. We don't V back, right? So that's the hardest thing because if you watch part 1, this has happened twice. This has happened twice. We got a commercial here, so you got to give me 4 seconds. It's happened twice, right? That Duke has been beat off the dribble. So, and not beat off the dribble, that they didn't recover to the weak side of the floor, right? It's what I believe to be one of the hardest things, right? So it looks like we're doing dribble handoff, peak. So I love that, right? So we're here. Like they're drilled on this. Catch, peak. Look at Holmgren. He's locked in. He's on a midline. He's not level with the post player. He's above the post player, right? So, but he probably still has a feel and vision and everything. There is this seam here, right? But now, like, I don't think he can guard there's the peak. I don't think he can guard Banchero or the switch, but look at how tight Duke and Gonzaga are off ball screen. Look at how those guys play it, right? They engage. Look, it's just a pick and pop, but they engage. Now we got 2-on-1. We got 2-on-1 here. We're locked up solid on the weak side of the floor. So, but they poke it out. All right. So Gonzaga, that's a hustle effort play that gets people going, right? High ball screen, circles to the weak side of the floor to open it up possibly for roll, right? So there's roll. We're not going to pick and pop with 12. We're not going to pick and pop with Williams, right? So there's that roll, right? So it looks like, we need to have a cut. Look at that help. Bang, look at that guy's fighting. So what's not to like about that guy? Okay, so listen, and we'll end with this clip because I go too long. But we talk about post play with our kids, and I hope our kids end up watching these videos. But watch this. Here's how you play. You want to be a tough guy. You want to be this, look at big, low, wide, not terribly low, but good, right? Low, wide ball screen. It's the second ball screen we've seen. You come off that tight and get that guy hung up. This is how the game is played. Engage Holmgren. So there's a switch, right? Banchero's getting out and taking 22 with him, right? He picks it up. He's looking roll. This guy stunts over just enough, right? Wow. But good on Holmgren. 7'2", huge wingspan. He's stunting over a little bit. He's not helping out, right? You could say he's open. Man, he looks open, but he's stunting over. So what's the play? Boom. Now, watch Adams. He's fighting for this. His hands aren't down. His hands are up. He's got contact. He's got his positioning. If he could get this foot over his foot, and then seal him out or in, seal him into the paint, he's got it. So Banchero's just look, and look at you. Here's what you have to know as a post feeder. How am I being played? Where am I? How am I being played? How is the post being played? And where is the weak side? Is it a lot to cover? Yeah, but the great ones do, right? So right now I'm sitting around going, man, I wish we could throw it right here. I wish we could throw it right here, but we don't, right? So the ball gets changed, right? He gets on top of it. He goes, but watch Adams. Okay, that's competing. And I'm not railing on Banchero because I don't know the stats. And I know he's great. I know he's great. And I'm not railing on him. And you could say like, hey, his gig is to get back and we're only going to rebound with 4 and we're not going to get beat in transition and we're going to go 4-on-1. These 4 guys and everybody's getting back on Duke. You could make that argument. Sure, absolutely. But man, Banchero decided to compete too late on this play, right? He thought he wasn't getting it. My man, number 12 here, was saying, you know what? I'm going to get underneath. I'm going to out. Look, he was sealed out right here. Absolutely sealed out and kept fighting and competing and gets the ball and it winds up being a 2-point game and he gets fouled. So listen, here's the deal. This guy outcompeted 4 people. There's 4 people there. There's 4 people on this play. I don't know if that's the shot we want from the person. I don't know. I don't know that player well enough. All I do know is this is what I would evaluate. Man, really open there. Look at that seal there. Hands, feet, butt, thighs, trying to get it, clearly screaming for it. Doesn't do too much on the reversal. Gets blocked out here and then gets pushed out of bounds essentially. And then says, no, I'm going to get all 4 of you. I'm going to outcompete you and I'm going to get fouled. Love it. What's not to like about that? Okay. Listen, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to post this. It takes a while to get through all these videos. Please share this, like it. I really appreciate it when you like these videos. Hopefully the video is better this time in terms of keeping up. I'll check that out. It might not be, but hopefully we'll get this posted up to LinkedIn. If you could share this, send a clip to some friends, share it, and then like it and subscribe to it, right? That really helps us out. All right.